2025 is almost gone, and here's the harsh truth that should scare you. This might offend you. This may hurt your feelings. This might even be painful to listen to. But the odds are, this is exactly what you need to hear going into 2026. This year, you had 365 chances, and most of those chances slipped through the cracks. Not because you weren't capable, but because you kept waiting for clarity, waiting for motivation, and waiting for that perfect, exact, right moment that will just never come. And now, the year's over. And here's the truth I want you to hear before you just shut off this video. I know this is hard to listen to. You are not out of time. You're just out of excuses. If you listen closely for just the next few minutes, 2026 could be the year that you become unrecognizable. The first thing I want us to jump into is revisiting who you wanted to be in 2025. The things that you once said that you would do and could do and should do. Revisit those. Put them back on the top of your agenda and top of to-do lists for 2026, right? Maybe in 2025, you decided, I want to be able to run a 5K. And now your goal is, I want to be able to run a marathon. But still, tone it down, make it more obtainable, but the goal is the same. You want to focus on health. Revisit what you envisioned your 2025 to look like. Maybe it looks something along the lines of, I'm gonna start waking up early. I'm gonna stop going to bed so late. I'm gonna focus on my business. Or I want to start a business. I wanna get out of the rat race of this 9 to 5, so on and so forth. Re-envision those goals. Put those goals at the top of 2026. Maybe even take a look at where you lost momentum. Because odds are, when January 2025 first rolled around, you were excited about these goals. You were ready to dig deep with these goals. You were ready to go all in. And somewhere between January, February, March, even April or May, it slipped away. These things slipped through the cracks. I want you to know that you're not alone. A lot of us, myself included, all find ourselves in these positions. What's important to note is where you lost motivation and why. And here's one thing that I'm gonna tell you on this as well. You don't need motivation to get the job done. Motivation, you're waking up excited to do that thing. You feel great about doing that thing. But discipline is even on your worst day. When you don't want to do that thing, you are disciplined enough to still get up and go do it. It's not the fact that you are lacking motivation why you're missing the mark and missing your goals. It's the fact that you don't have the discipline to hit your goals. And that ties into why most people fall off within the first 60 days. If you go to the gym on January 2nd, January 3rd, the start of the new year, it is packed. And every single week, it begins to dwindle down. People are falling off left and right. They're getting too busy with their life. They're getting too caught up in their work. They're running through the motions. They can't handle it. The change is too much for them to bear. Most people can't stick to something for longer than a week, let alone 60 days. So I challenge you in 2026, push past that 60-day mark. Stick with something. Go for 90 days and turn those 90 days into 180 days and turn those 180 days into 365 days. So much so that these disciplines, these practices, these goals just become a natural part of your life. Now I want us to take a step back real quick and do a quick little reality check. And again, you're likely not going to enjoy hearing this, but I just need to get the point across to you. I want us to take a look at what you could have built in 2025. That's 365 days that you had an opportunity to work towards something great. You could have learned mastery in one skill or gotten really close to mastery in one skill. Doing 90 minutes to 120 minutes a day of one skill could get you proficient in that skill, could then make you learn how to make money off that skill. And every time that you do that one thing over and over and over and over and over again, it becomes undeniable that you will get better and you will be great and you can solve big problems with that one skill. And again, if you solve big problems with a skill, that's where you make big money from that skill. If you're still an amateur at all these different skills, if you still don't know how to do all of these things at a mastery proficient level, you're never going to be able to make big money with those inadequate skills. There's always somebody that's better. There's always the better business, the better company, the better individual. If you spent 90 minutes a day, say you wanted to start your first brand, If you spent 90 minutes a day teaching yourself Adobe and learning how to design, or if you decided to spend 90 minutes a day building up your business acumen and actually learning the ropes and how to run and operate businesses, or maybe you wanted to learn sales. High paying jobs all come from sales, whether it's your own or somebody else's. Sales is in fact one of the top skills I would encourage each and every one of you to learn in 2026. Sales as one overarching skill comes with 100 different skill sets inside of it. You have to be really good at relationship building, connecting, finding problems, solving problems, having people trust you, having people rely on you, so on and so forth. Mastery of sales is one of the greatest tools in your tool belt that you could ever use, learn, and utilize. And it even goes far beyond just making money. Maybe you want to eat steak and the other person wants to have a hot dog, and the restaurant you want to go to doesn't serve hot dogs, but they serve steaks. Learning sales teaches you how you can go get that steak every single time. Another thing you could have built in 2025 is a real side income stream, another revenue source. And right now, there's probably a lot of you that are doing your 9 to 5 Monday through Fridays. There's 52 weekends that you could have spent focused on building your thing that gets you out of that 9 to 5. And I get it, we're busy. I'm recently starting a family. I'm running multiple businesses. I have 2 properties at this point, but that's still not an excuse. Life is always going to get busier. It's never going to just be easy. You're never gonna have the perfect moment. You're never gonna have the right time. You are going to need to make sacrifices. Sacrificing your time, sacrificing your headspace, sacrificing relationships. It's always going to take a sacrifice. And there's some points in time where you also might have to sacrifice some of your own health. I know when there's really busy seasons in my life, I don't have enough time to get to the gym each and every day. See, each goal is important, but at some points in time, one goal might move above another, and that's okay. But what's important is you still value all of the goals. And then each season, you can slip and slide any of these goals up and down to show their importance. Again, you had 52 weekends that you likely spent sleeping in, watching TV, playing video games, going out. None of those things are working on a skill, a business, a side passion, starting a brand, making content. I encourage you in 2026, use your weekends wisely. At the end of the day, slow progress beats zero progress at any given point in time. And progress is something that is compounding. It doesn't just stop at one level. One level turns to the next, which turns to the next, which turns to the next, and it's a bigger and bigger snowball. And every time that snowball gets bigger and it rolls down that hill more, it's getting bigger in size. It is a compounding effect. You could have also spent 2025 focused on your health and your mind, in the gym, going on runs, eating healthy, meditating, telling yourself positive thoughts, changing the content that you consume. All of these things could have led to a more healthy, balanced, better 2025 that again compounds going into 2026. Minimal habits done repeatedly is how you get maximum level of change. I'm not asking you to run a marathon each and every day, but I am asking you to begin going for that walk. Begin taking more steps. Begin drinking more water. Doing basic functions each and every day. If your goal is to run a marathon, you and I aren't getting up and starting to run a marathon today. We are gonna start by going for that walk, then running the block, then running 2 blocks, then running a half mile, running a 5K, running a 10K, half marathon, so on and so forth. And it is through the consistency of doing that that is going to get you to that marathon mark. It's not just like one day you're gonna wake up and decide to run a marathon. Most of us aren't that way. We need these minimal changes in our lives that can create the maximum change for us. An additional thing with the health and the mind is physical discipline fuels ambition. Being in the gym, getting your energy out, makes clarity in the mind, allows you to focus on what it is that you want to focus on. Going out for a run, being out in nature, getting fresh air, we are all lacking this. It's in our human nature to be outside, to be exploring, to be touching the grass. But in today's matrix of the world, they make us be behind the screen, be inside, be indoors, stay safe. It's safe inside. Outside's scary. We don't know what's outside. Get the hell outside. Touch grass. Go for a run. Hug a tree. Roll in the dirt. As childish as some of those things might sound, they're so meaningful and impactful. And lastly, in 2025, think of all the missed opportunities you had by just staying inside, by not going outside of your comfort zone, going to an event and networking, joining that class that you've always wanted to do, taking the leap and joining that course, not taking the trip because you didn't know how to afford it. Now, I'm not asking you to make irrational decisions, but I am asking you to take some risks. You might think, I'd rather just stay inside and hang out at home and maybe I got a buddy coming over or whatever. You could have gone out of your comfort zone, gone to an event. If you don't know how to find events, go to eventbrite.com. There's tons of events always going on. Find a community, join a network, find people that are like-minded with your similar goals and chase and acquire those goals and skills. You can't do it alone. Or if you do it alone, it's gonna be really lonely and makes it way more challenging. I did it alone for the longest point in time. Finally though, I began to find my community, find my audience, and being able to do it with other people rooting for you in your corner just makes it so much more obtainable. The next thing that I wanna touch on is simply the cost of not locking in. It's not so much a financial cost, but it's lost momentum. Your confidence, it's gonna dip. And staying the same eventually, well, it just becomes comfortable. It becomes routine. And I want you to know this, your future self pays for your present hesitation. If you hope to be this big businessman that's really healthy or woman that's really healthy, focused on life, loves everything that's going on, has the health, wealth, and the pursuit of happiness, but you're hesitant, your future self is paying for that hesitation. There's never the perfect moment. All there is the present, is right now. Don't let 2026 get away from you. Don't let another day fall through the cracks. If you're watching this and 2025 is still not over, you can still start today. At some point in time, push comes to shove, you're either gonna have to start or you're just going to have to accept the fact that you're not going to change. And that's okay. Not everybody is as ambitious as we are. We need the paper pushers, but us, we want more. We strive for more. Take this as your sign. Get up and go get more. How do we get more? And this is the pivot point. This is where we are not lost. In 2026, you can become unrecognizable. Because you see, you didn't fail. You only fail when you give up. And if you're watching this right now, you haven't given up. There's still a glimmer of hope in you. You're still striving for something. You still have a burning desire to achieve more, to get more, to be greater. And the thing about a drift is irreversible. We can pull that car up out of that ditch and get back on that lane. We haven't totaled the car yet. Your vehicle still works. Your brain still functions. Your body still moves. Your hope is still there. We just need to align everything to go down the right path that you want to accomplish. And momentum, it can be rebuilt faster than you think. It doesn't take years and years and years of grueling, harsh, excruciating work. It's like the compounding snowball that's getting pushed down the mountain. At the top of the mountain, that snowball starts small, but as it keeps going, it gets bigger and moves faster and bigger and faster and bigger and faster and bigger and faster until it comes tumbling down and it's the biggest snowball that you've seen in your life. That could be you in 2026. It can happen a lot faster than you think. The power of one focused year can make up 5 unfocused years. And you compound 1 year after another, and before you know it, you're off to the races. All you need is focus today. Wake up tomorrow and focus tomorrow. Wake up the next day and focus again. Each and every day, tell yourself, just for today, I'm going to follow my goals. Just for today, even when it's hard, I'm going to do what I don't want to do. And eventually, those just for todays are going to be habitual patterns that are just in your life. Just for today, I'm going to wake up 10 minutes earlier. Just for today, instead of waking up and scrolling on my phone, I'm going to wake up, get out of bed, and step outside. All of those early moments become habitual throughout the year and compounds year after year after year. Let's actually build a 2026 lock-in plan. Let's make you unrecognizable in 2026. And we're gonna break this down into 4 easy actions. Step 1, pick a skill: sales, graphic design, brand building, creativity, copywriting, personal training. Pick a skill, whatever your heart desires. And next, we're gonna commit to mastery for that skill. Every day, I want you to try to focus on doing that one skill. And we can start small. We can start with 20, 30 minutes a day. But as the weeks move on, as the months move on, we're going to slowly increase that time span. We're gonna go from 30 minutes to 45 minutes to an hour to 90 minutes to 2 hours every single day until, again, this becomes a part of your routine, until it becomes a part of your natural life. This skill becomes ingrained into your year, into you, your new identity, the 2026 you, the you that you always knew you could be. And I want you to do it so much that in your circles, maybe online or maybe in your neighborhood, at your schools, and in your friend groups, you become known for that skill. That's how we're going to be able to make the first change in 2026. Pick a skill, focus on mastery, and become known for that skill. The next, I want you to pick a vehicle that skill can be utilized with. A Shopify online brand store, e-commerce. Maybe it's a service-based business. Maybe you're starting a content brand, or maybe it's even a creative platform or an agency. That is the vehicle that the skill is going to funnel and feed into. And the third action step, decide today who you're becoming. Leave the old you to the side. Today, I want you to decide who you're becoming. What does that skill and what does that vehicle tie into? Who is it that knows that skill and runs that vehicle? Because it's not the old you. It's the new you. And today, you're gonna begin behaving like them. I want you to change the content that you consume on social medias, on YouTube. I want you to focus and align your thoughts to that vehicle and that vehicle to the skill. And lastly, the fourth action step, build one circle. I need you to focus on relationships. Replace isolation with community. Whether those are mentors, peers, acquaintances, coworkers, friends that you see often. You're a product of the 5 closest people to you. If there's 5 people that you're around that sit around all day smoking weed, you're likely gonna be the 6th. If you hang around 5 millionaires all day, every day, you're likely going to be the 6th. If you hang around 5 people that are always in the gym, you are likely going to be the 6th. Your community matters more than you think. And you might be thinking to yourself, where do I find these people? I'm gonna tell you right now, you're overthinking it. You're making it too complicated. There are people all around you at all times, but you isolating in your room, playing the video games, laying in bed all day, you're never gonna find those people. Get outside, build your circle. And the 6th thing that we're gonna do is a little bit of visualization. I'm not one for a whole lot of the woo-woo shit, but I am one for visualization. I used to be a former athlete when I was a kid. I played a lot of baseball. I'd visualize myself hitting the ball, making the play, getting the outs, all that sort of stuff. And a lot of it began to kind of come true. And again, I used to be a kid that had chronic pain and a little victim mentality in my life. But eventually I took the visualization and I viewed myself as being healthy, as running a successful business, as striving for more, being ambitious, and a lot of those things began to come true. I want you to take this time right now and visualize December 2026. A year from now, what does that look like to you? You're likely gonna have different income. Your confidence, your lifestyle is going to be different. What does your lifestyle look like right now in December 2026? Not December 2025 or December 2024, but December 2026. What does that lifestyle look like? Now, your circle, your friend groups, the people that you hang around, what do they look like in December 2026? And lastly, imagine yourself right now looking in the mirror, seeing the December 2026 version of you with your raised confidence, your healthier year, your open mind, your more successful life. I want you to really take a few moments right here, maybe pause the video and go through those points. Visualize December 2026. 12 months is a long enough time to change everything. You just have to stop waiting for the perfect conditions and start today. 2025 is coming to an end, but you, my friend, you are not done. There is still hope. I know some of this might have been hard to listen to, but I promise you, if you can make some of these changes that we went over, if you can follow the action steps, and if you can continue to visualize a healthier, more successful, better version of you for 2026, all of it is possible. You are one decision away from a completely different life. Don't wait for the year to change. Become the person who changes it. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to drop a thumbs up, give it a subscribe, leave a comment down below, and check out some of my other videos. I believe in you, I believe in us, and we can make all the difference.